This year we have more natural disaster all over the world, and then in this month it's more serious in many places in Europe, in Asian country. Now many country in Asian country have to face the big flood, serious flood. It caused a lot of damage, so many areas. Natural disaster will be more serious, and then it will take place more often from now on, because our environmental system is not balanced anymore. Every time when we have natural disaster happen, like flooding right now, what we can hear from the government is they will come and then give some compensation to villagers. It's not a lot, but it's nothing compared to their loss. Many people lost their home, lost their chance, lost their life, but they get a little bit money for compensation. And then after that, the government will do the big project, spend tons of money. They said it will solve the problem, like build a big dam or do something that they think it will help. They have been doing like this for years and years, but natural disaster never decreased, but it's increased instead, increased and more serious. So it seems like the government never think about to solve this problem in the long term at all. They just want to solve very short term problem. They never think about long term. That's why the problem haven't been solved yet. We have to prepare ourselves to face more disaster in the near future. How can we prepare ourselves? It's not easy without the help from the government. So we need to look at the solution, the long-term solution. What can we do? In the eyes of villagers like us, I think we can see the way to solve this problem. If we look from the top of Asian country, you can see many bald head mountains like this everywhere. There's no trees. So when the rain drops to the land, to the mountain, it just flows to the lower area very fast, and then it becomes a creek or small river. So many mountains will come to the small area. It will be a big lump of water come to the low area, and then in 1 or 2 days it come to the main river, and in the next few days it can go to the ocean. So when the rain come, we always have flood because the water runs so fast. And when the rain stop, we always have drought, no water to use, because we have no time for water to seep underground. This is the main problem of flood and drought that we have now. And to solve the problem, what we observe in our land, like in our farm, we live in a mountain like this. We live in a small hill, and then before that our hill there's nothing. When the rain come, it go very fast to the small creek, and then the water turn brown, dark brown color, because it took a lot of soil and topsoil and nutrition go with the water. And then after it rained for 10 or 15 minutes, when we dig in the soil, when we dug in the soil, it's wet only 2 inches only. So a lot of water just go very fast. The water went away from our land very fast. But when we start to grow many things on the land, and then we start to make the contour line and plant some vegetable or another thing on the contour line. And we have some big trees too. When the rain dropped, only 10 minutes, we dug in the soil. We found that our soil wet. The water have a chance to go down into the soil more than 2 feet deep. That's make very big difference. That's what we learn from our area. So to solve the flood problem in the long term, I think we need to change the way of farming. The first thing is we need to stop cash crop farming, because cash crop farming, you don't want anything else to grow on your land. You want only corn or cassava or some rice only. So on the high mountain like this, in the high area, it's good to plant many things, more diversity on our land. So if we stop cash crop, we start to make contour line on the land. Contour line, we can dig swell, we can dig into swell, or if it's too expensive to dig swell, don't need to dig swell. Just plant something on the contour line very close together. So when the rain drop on the land, it will stuck on the contour or the plant that we grow, so they will flow slower. That means it gives chance for the water to seep into the soil, go in the soil more. That's the way we can keep the water, rainwater in the soil. So when we have more trees and stop using weed killer, the leaf will drop on the ground, dry branches drop on the ground. It becomes thick layer. In some area, there's a lot of grass grow. It becomes like a natural sponge. Natural sponge will absorb rainwater when the rain drop. So this area will absorb a lot of water. And then the tree, each tree, if the tree is more than 1 foot diameters, the stem of the trees, it have more than 200 liters of water circulate in that tree all the time. So the water from the rain will be kept in the trees and keep in the natural sponge on the ground, and then give more time for water to seep in the soil more. So if the rain, heavy rain in 10 minutes or 15 minutes, we maybe cannot see much water flow to the creek. And then if the water come, it will be very clear water. So this way it will help to stop flooding very well, because trees and grass will work like a natural dam, will save water for us. And then when the rain comes, they absorb, they keep the water for us. And then they will release a little bit of water every minute, like gradually release the water. So the water will come to the creek. It feeds the creek all year round. So now when we have no tree, nothing like this, the creeks always dry up in dry season. But in the past, most of the creeks still have some water, because the tree release a little bit of water every minute. That's why in the natural way, they always have water to feed the creek. And then the tree can survive very well, because the soil can absorb a lot of water. The soil will work like a natural dam for us too. So this is the way that we think it will help to stop flooding and drought. If we change the area of monocrop into the mixed farming with many trees, many different kind of tree, and then stop using weed killer, it will make everything change very fast. It's not easy to ask the farmer to change the way of farming, to stop do monocrop. It's maybe almost impossible. But the way that possible is we need to find a way to help farmer to find another job instead of farming. Many villagers who live close to the forest, close to the mountain area like this, we need to find something for them to do, like train them to process food, to make some products, or to do tourists, to do anything to make income in different way, not from farming. If we can support them to have income from another thing, the monocrop farming will decrease very fast. Because monocrop farming, it doesn't make much money. Mainly it costs debt. It makes people in debt more. So if they find another way that make a little bit money more than the normal way that they used to live, I think they will change. So if they have product, if they have a small business in their area, they will decrease the number of monocrop farming, and then they maybe change into fruit trees farming or sustainable way of farming more, because to do fruit tree or do sustainable farming, you work less than cash crop or monocrops, a lot less. So they will have time to work in their business more. When they work in their business, it will give a chance for the bald head mountain to heal itself. The grass will grow. When nobody spray, no people go in that area often, they will grow into forest very fast. In tropical country, if we ignore the land like this for 3 years, it will turn to forest very fast. So we don't need to plant the tree, we don't need to plant the forest. Just not let big animal like the buffalo and cows go in there, and then don't let people disturb them. Only 3 or 4 years it will turn to thick forest very fast. So we don't need to invest any money on forest, but we need to invest money to develop new career for farmers. So if we do like this, it will solve so many problems. We will decrease a lot of natural disaster problem, decrease flooding, decrease drought, and decrease smoke from burning. And it will make people have more income. They will be more happy with their new life, and then they will love the nature. They will love farming in a sustainable way more and more. So farming doesn't make people become rich, doesn't make people enjoy their life much. Farming just the way that the corporation take advantage of farmer, take cheap labor and take nutrition from their land and turn it into money and move it into their pocket. So farmer will not get anything if we do monocrops. But if we turn like this, farmer will get more benefit from everything around them. And then if they find some career, some job that they can make more income, a little bit more, they will be happy. So this is the way that I think it will solve the problem permanently. So to solve this problem in this way, the government need to spend some money to train people to do their own product, to start their own business, something, some small industry in their area that they can process anything in their area into any products. I think this way it will be more sustainable, and then it will solve problem in the long term, and we will have less natural disaster. So it's not too hard to solve the problem in this way, because the government have some money. They use tons of money for some crazy project with nothing cause more problem even. But if they use money to develop people who live around the forest or train farmer to do farming in a sustainable way, it doesn't need that much money, and then The problem is the government or politician, they may be not happy to see people happy. They may be not happy to see people can depend on themselves. So that's why we never heard any government talk about the long-term policy to solve natural disaster problem. Even now, we have more and more natural disaster and more serious than in the past. We didn't hear anything from them yet. In the same time, we cannot just wait for the government to solve the problem for us. What we can do, we have to start to do it. If you're a farmer, it's good to start to change the way of farming now. We need to do farming in a sustainable way, grow many things on our land, and then if we can have a contour line in our land or plant something on the contour line or dig swell if we have enough money, it will make the big change very fast. We can see from our land, it worked well, it helped a lot, and I think this is what we can do. And if you are a city people, you don't like farming, what you can do is just come to help farmers who want to do it in this way, help to buy their products at least, or help to train them to do some product, help them to start a small business in their land from what they have. So if we start to do something like this, we will be good friends between city people and farmers. We can start our microclimate together, and then if it expands more and more and more, it will change in the macro level too. I think we can do it.